Good morning, everybody. It's our second week of distance learning. You guys did such a great job doing our school last week, and tell your parents what a great job they did as well. Just to recap, before we start with today, the pages that I needed back from last week were our tests and our checkoff sheet. So if you haven't returned those yet, if you could please do that. So the checkoff sheet had the days of the week, and you marked off what you had to do. I need both of those pages marked off of what you did finish, both pages. And then the other pages I need were the ones that were done on Friday. They are your Math for Today test, your grammar test. Having a little trouble getting it. Your grammar test is supposed to be turned back into me. And lastly, there were 2 pages for your Envision Math, the reteach 12.3. I see that it's backwards. I'm sorry about that. And the 12.4. So those are the ones that I needed. And then, of course, your ReadWorks assignments needed to be done, and your Spelling City assignments, and your spelling tests, which I see most people finish that. And there's a few people I just emailed to make sure you can finish those up this weekend. Alrighty, let's get into what you're going to be doing on Monday. Scooch myself over here. And we're going to flip this around so we can see it the right way. Keep going, keep going. All right. So I've tried to change, I've tried to use the same format, but I've tried to change it just a little bit to try to help everyone know what needs to be turned in. So right here where it says required work, all the way across the top, then I go over all the required work. I'm going to slide down here really quick just so I can show you that this is where it says optional work, like the things that don't have to be done but can be done. And then I reminded you on each one, check off what you completed today for Monday, check off what you completed today for Tuesday, check off what you completed today for Wednesday, and then check off what you completed today on Friday, and return this page and the page before it and all of the tests that were marked with a star. And so you will see those on your Friday work that they were marked with a star. On Friday, you'll see that they are marked with a star right here. Your spelling test needs to be done online. This test right here. So there's not as many things to send back this week, but I do need these daily. These are our daily assignment sheets. All right, so today we're going to be doing page 115 for our morning work, day 1 and 2 for Math for Today, our spelling pretest, and one other assigned activity in Spelling City. ReadWorks, you need to read these articles. There are 3 different little articles, but they all make up for one. Lenses, concave and convex mirrors, and scientific instruments. And then you'll need to write sentences about each one in your book of knowledge. So today you'll have quite a bit written in your book of knowledge, because you'll have 2 or 3 things you learned from each one. Then below that, you'll have your simple and compound sentence worksheet. We're going to be working on for grammar, simple and compound sentences. There's 2 sheets, and so I mark those, and I'll show you that in a moment. In writing, you're going to write about if you could be anywhere today. Today, Monday, April 6th, 2020. Where would you be if you could be anywhere? And why would you want to be there? I've also included extra credit if you send me a copy of what you wrote, because I love to read what you guys have written. Some of you have sent me your would you rathers, and it's been great to read them. It makes me miss you so much even more, though, because it's your great words. Math, we're going to do 2 worksheets on fractions on a number line. So we're writing the fractions that should go on a number line, and we're going to go over that in just a moment. And then we're continuing this week with our starred activities in IXL, doing our fractions and our pronouns. So I'll just check on the weekend to see how close we are to being finished with those. Hopefully we'll be close to finishing with those. And then you can read on Mayan, on Epic, or reading a chapter book. And then you could do any of these assignments that we have for choice right here. I did give an assignment on Freckle. So if anyone would like to go do that, that could be an extra credit as well if you do finish it this week. Otherwise, I'm probably going to assign it for next week. All right, so let's get into our work. Slide right down here. This week I included this page where it says Monday, and then it includes all the things that you're doing. We just talked about them. All right. Morning work, page 115. Avery, I hope you enjoy this one. It has your name in it today. So if we were in class today, we would have mentioned that. All right. Read the short story, then answer the question. Avery was doing his math homework about measurement, but he couldn't fit all his answers on the page, so he replaced some words with abbreviations. So your question is, do you think abbreviations can be useful when you're writing? Tell why you think so. So a complete sentence here. I think abbreviations would be useful in writing because, or I don't think abbreviations would be useful in writing because. All right. Math. So we're going to read the problem and answer the item. Debbie woke up at 7 o'clock a.m. It took her 30 minutes to shower and get dressed. It took her 15 minutes to eat breakfast. It took her 5 minutes to brush her teeth. Then it took her 20 minutes to fill her backpack. Finally, she was ready for school. Write the time, that Debbie was ready for school. Then draw the time on the clock. So you're going to write it, kind of how we see it on the digital clock, and then you're going to draw the hands on the clock of what time it would be. The short one is the hour. The long one is the minute. So you're going to be adding up all this time and putting it from the beginning of 7 o'clock and what time was she done. All right. Well, it looks like we have a graph in our story today. Cases of candy bars. It looks like we have some people's names. AJ, Ken, Mel, Todd, CJ, Mo, Al, and Kevin. And it looks like the highest we can go is 7. So let's see what they have to say about this graph. The soccer team is about to find out who sold the most candy bars to raise money for uniforms. Everyone on the team had 3 weeks to sell as much as possible, and the top-selling person will win a new video game. During the first 2 weeks, Kevin was the top seller, but he got sick in the 3rd week and couldn't sell anymore. How would the graph probably look different if Kevin didn't get sick? And tell why you think it would look different if he didn't get sick. So pay attention to how he did before that and see what it would have been like if he had not gotten sick. As a result of what's shown on the graph, who will get the new video game and tell why? So you can mark on here who will get the video game and why you think it will be them. All right. Okay, let's see if I'm just trying to make sure if there's anything else on here that should be on here. Feeling like this should be colored in, but I will have to check that out. All right, on week 23 for Math for Today, we're going to do days 1 and day 2. In this one, we're write the fraction of the following shape. You're just going to put the fraction here. Write the missing numbers to complete the pattern. So we've started 3, 6, 12, and then we need 3 more, skip counting. On the bottom here, how many inches long is the paperclip? So don't forget to write inches at the end of your answer. 12 divided by 4 equals, or blank times 4 equals 12. 10 divided by 5 equals blank, or blank times 5 equals 10. 9 times 6 equals what? You could do your nines trick. You can skip count by 9. You can skip count by 6. All right. This on day 2, divide the circle into halves. Label each half with the appropriate fraction. So you're going to cut the circle in half and then write the fractions on each side. All right. William ran a total of 14 miles in 7 days. Each day, he ran the same number of miles. How many miles did William run each day? So it looks like we're dividing up how many miles each day he ran. A total of 14 divided up among 7 days would be how much each day? And then this is a fraction saying that these pieces are cut into 4s. How many pieces are possible? So this will be a new kind of a fraction we haven't seen before. We've got 2 whole fractions here, 2 whole pies here, and they're both cut up into 4. But how many available pieces are there? There's a hint. It's going to be more than the denominator. All right. Brianna woke up at 1:10 a.m. and was awake until 1:45 a.m. How many minutes was Brianna awake for? So that's an early time to wake up. So she woke up and she couldn't quite get back to sleep until 1:45. So how much time had gone by? All right. Remember, you can always pause this video. You can rewind this video to go back if I've gone too fast for you on any of these. Here's our spelling list for this week on the regular list. We're looking at words with silent consonants. And then here's our list for those of you that are on the alternative list with the words with silent consonants. All right. For grammar, we're working on simple and compound sentences. So an example here of a simple sentence would be, Emily won the game. An example of a compound sentence would be, Emily won the game, so she received a medal. So they want you to mark it S for simple, C for compound. So go ahead and read through these sentences, and you'll mark to say whether it's a compound or a simple. So the example they gave is, Dad drove slowly, for the road was icy. Now, if we made that a simple sentence, it could have just been, Dad drove slowly. But it is a compound sentence because they added in, for the road was icy. They added some more information in. All right, so you have 2 pages of that to do. On this one, it starts out with a simple, clocks go forward in the spring. So we didn't add any extra there to that. So it's a simple sentence. All right. And then for writing today, you're going to write a complete story with as many details and explanations as possible so the reader, whoever's going to read it, can imagine it in their head. Use complete sentences. You can use the back of this page if you need to. And there's extra credit available. So if you send me this writing after you're done, I give you extra credit, 5 points of extra credit. So that would be pretty great. Right away, you'd have 105 points. If you could be anywhere today, where would it be and why? So I've given you some lines here to tell me where it would be, why you want to be there, what would you be doing there? And our last pages are our math fraction pages. This is page 1. On this page, we're going to write the fraction or the mixed number represented by the letter on the number lines. So for example, this number line is cut up into 1, 2, 3, 4. So what would spot A be numbered? What would spot B be numbered? What would spot C be numbered? Gets a little interesting on number 4 because we go past 1 whole unit and we go to 2 whole units. So we still count how many it's divided up between 0 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's check to make sure it's cut into 4 to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what number would number 4 be? Letter I be, and what would number J be? All right. So do your best on that. I'll probably go over this when we correct our math for today. So keep it nearby. And then on this one, it says on the number line below, label 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5. So you're going to mark them under here. On this one, they don't want all of them. They just want these specific ones. And the same with this one and this one. And that is all of your worksheets for today. And then you can do some IXL. Make sure you do your Spelling City. And also make sure you're doing your read works. I checked today. and not everyone had finished their ReadWorks. So you're supposed to go into ReadWorks, use our class code, look for your name, and our password is 1234. And then you're going to click on the first article, read all of the articles that are in that. There should be 3 today because they're shorter. And then you're going to click on the book of knowledge and enter in your answers. So make sure that you do that because that is part of your grade as well. If you have any questions, please, please, please email me. I'd be happy to go over it. If it's too hard to explain in an email, I can always make a really quick video to send to you on how to do it. You guys are doing a great job. I'm going to send another video where I'm reading our Wonder book. Hopefully you're enjoying that. I know I am. I'm in the classroom today. I wanted to do our video from the classroom, so I came and made some printed packets. So if parents would like a printed packet, they're in the office. You can pick those up Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday from 9 to noon. I can also send you the entire week's packet if you need to print something at one time. Otherwise, I'm going to continue to send the packets each day so that people can keep track of them. And I only need the papers to return back that are in the Thursday section. So I've kind of tried to label that down there too to try to make that easier. I'm going to try to stay consistent to this kind of schedule so that it won't be trying to learn something new all the time. So we'll try to keep it pretty close to that. Also, if you have Roaring Readers calendar paper to turn in, I have until I believe next Monday. I need to make sure that it's in, otherwise it'll be too late. So if you have that and you want to scan it or take a picture of it and email it to me, that would be great. I can get it turned in. And then if you have your March reading minutes, if you want to email me your March reading minutes, it doesn't have to be your paper. It can just be a sentence with your minutes and your name, or it can be a copy of your calendar. That would be great. All right, guys, have a wonderful Monday, and I will talk to you again in the morning, and I'm here if you need anything. All right, guys, bye-bye.